So I'm sure if you live in the US, you've heard that by January 19th, unless TikTok sells to a United States company, it will no longer be available for us. Um, and for me, that's not really a huge deal because I don't use TikTok. I don't use any shorts or anything like that because I have better things to do with my time. But there's like a lot of people who do. Um, And I recently, because it's getting banned on my birthday, but since it's getting banned in like 9 days as of recording this, I decided to take a peek at it because when it happened like a year ago, I was like, okay, this probably isn't gonna happen. TikTok's huge, so who fucking cares, right? Well, I was wrong. It does really look like they're about to get banned, and that's absolutely insane. And there's a cat on my desk that will not leave me alone. So I looked into it. I was like, okay, what's the issue here? Why do they want it banned so badly? So basically, they think that TikTok is just this huge Chinese software spyware kind of bullshit. I want to know. I'm not like a professional on this subject. There's way better videos you can watch, and I'll have a few linked in the description because this is just my thoughts on the whole situation. I'm not smart. Don't take my word for any of this bullshit. But pretty much, they're like, "Oh, well, you're selling our data to China." Um, and now, for some of you, you might think, "Oh gosh, yeah, that sounds like a good reason." Except, it's not. There is tons of U.S. based apps that sell our data to China as well. The only difference being that those apps that are selling our data, um, the politicians making these decisions about TikTok, they have stock in those apps, so they make money off of that. They're not making any money when TikTok sells our data, so oh boo, that's bad because they're not making money. Um, which makes sense why they'd want it to be sold to a U.S. company. Um, and they were also, I've noticed, they were pretty worried about some law China has where apparently like the government can be like, hey, you have to do what I said because I said so. Um, and you might think, oh, that seems pretty bad. Maybe the government in China could be like, hey, give us their info, and there would be nothing they could do about it. Except the CEO is from Singapore. Um, and also they came up with the solution to this problem anyways. Project Texas, where pretty much all the data and everything would be in the US under a US company. But no, that's not good enough for the politicians. Um, I won't focus on this little whatever. I won't focus on this part too far, like too much, because it was all over TikTok when it happened. But I'm sure you guys have seen that clip of the guy asking, "Does it access the internet?" And you know what? I love that clip so much because I don't know about you guys, but I've been pretty down in the dumps lately about life. Like, oh shit, this kind of sucks. But then I realized if a guy who doesn't understand how Wi Fi works on apps can get to this position in the government, you know what? Maybe I'll be fine after all. Because are you serious? What do you mean, does it access the internet? That's like such a crazy thing. And alright, I'm done talking about that. um, but like also, I kind of understand wanting TikTok banned, but not in just TikTok sense. Like, I think all this short form content where you like scroll, Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, I think it's like incredibly bad for the youth. Like that's doing horrendous things to our fucking attention span. Um, I've not been watching Reels for like a week or something because I started realizing I was forgetting so much and like no, 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 no. I'm sure you've noticed it. I'm stumbling over my words a lot and like forgetting what I was about to say. Yeah. Yeah, that's like all the short form content. It's literally brain rotting me. Um, but at the end of the day, the government doesn't care about how that's affecting the youth or anything because they make so much fucking money off of it. But they pretended to care a little bit during the TikTok thing because they brought up the TikTok time limit, how the kids can get around it, and like Yeah, that sucks, but also you can get around it on Instagram Reels. I have a teen account right now because I'm not 18 for the next like 9 days. And you can just dismiss it. Like, I'm sure it might be different if a parent's attached to the account, but let's be honest, how many parents actually give two shits these days about what their kids are watching? Like, have you seen kids' content? Like, they don't care at all about what their children are doing, you know. They just have the mentality of shove the tablet in your child's face so they don't cry and you don't have to deal with them, you know? So, I feel like at a certain point the parents have to do something, but they won't, probably. Um, so they're blaming TikTok for that, which is just so stupid. And I obviously I didn't watch the entire court hearing because that shit's long, but I watched quite a few videos on it, and wow, just wow, it was so crazy unprofessional seeming. Like, they were interrupting every 5 seconds. What do you mean this was a Congress meeting? These are the people running our country, and they can't let somebody finish a sentence? Like, they were just so incredibly rude. I believe there was. Now, I don't know if. It depends on the kind of person you are. I personally consider damn, DAMN, a cuss word in, like, certain contexts. Like, if I'm a lawyer and I say damn, that's a bit odd. That's a little unprofessional. But, like, they were so rude and just completely. I cannot begin to describe how asinine this entire process was. It looked like I was watching two kids play pretend, and one of them was like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this," and then the other one was like, "Oh, what if you did this instead, though?" Like, it was like watching two little 5-year-olds bumble and argue over pretty much nothing. Um, and I've never been so embarrassed for this country in my entire life, because what was that? What was that? That was thoroughly embarrassing. Um, and I've heard this brought up somewhere. I don't recall where. I believe I saw it on TikTok itself because I used to spend a lot of time on TikTok in 2020 because what else was I gonna do, man? And there was a lot of protesting going on. Like, I don't know what it's like today because I haven't been on TikTok in ages. But it was very like political, very heavy, very boo government, boo. We gotta you know, do something about them because they kind of suck. Um, I think that might also have something to do with why it's getting banned. Now, this is just me guessing, um, and I did hear this from someone else. I wish I could remember where, but like, it could also have to do with silencing people because if you've been on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Instagram can kind of get a little political sometimes, but I wouldn't say it's anywhere near as heavy as when I was on TikTok, but also that was during like all the George Floyd protests. So obviously, you know, I wasn't on Reels or anything at the time because I don't know if they existed. I don't fucking know. Like, obviously it was going to be political during that time, but like I feel like it's also been used as like a huge protest tool, and they're kind of not liking that. Um but like, yeah, you can say that about any app. Like, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day where you protest, because if they don't like what you're saying enough, they will demonetize you. Like, for example, a lot of people, like a lot of accounts on Instagram that have been supporting Reverse Mario, so I don't get myself in trouble too, are getting just like shadow banned, ignored, videos taken down for like no reason. And it's wild to watch the government run like mice over all this. Um, I don't know how long I've been yapping, but yeah, I think the I think the TikTok ban is pretty fucking stupid. Like, I do believe this kind of stuff should be banned, but they're not doing it for the right reasons, so I don't support them. And also, like, yeah, it's terrible for the brain, but also, like, I feel like maybe as a person you should know better. If you're like, damn, this is bad for me, try to stop. Obviously, it's not that easy because these apps are made to be stupid addictive, and they clearly work. Um, One more thing I did want to bring up is Instagram. I don't know when exactly they did this, but they stopped paying their Reels creators. after it came out that TikTok might be banned, because it almost definitely is going to get banned. Um, Everybody, like a lot of people, would profit from it getting banned. Like if TikTok gets banned, all those users are going to go to like Reels or YouTube Shorts, which are US owned companies, which I've mentioned the politicians doing all this bullshit have a lot of stock in, so they're going to make a whole lot of money if they do push and get this banned. Um but also there's VPNs. So if someone's smart enough to boot up Opera X, I don't know what it's called. I've just started using it. There's a built-in VPN you can use. So like, if you're smart enough to just download that, you don't really need to go to Shorts or anything like that. And also like YouTube Shorts is I wouldn't say anywhere near as good as TikTok. And also Reels is just wow. If you've been on Reels, it's like if TikTok was worse. I don't know how to say it, but it sucks. But yeah, that's all I have to say on the subject. That's it. That's all I had to say. Bye bye. Go watch something else, man.